Hi everyone, here's our HMH lesson for Tuesday, September 15th. Okay, so we are doing lesson 1.6 today. We will be covering central idea, that's the main idea. We're also going to be covering the topic and biography, supporting evidence. Okay, so what does all that mean? Well, I'm going to teach you. I'm going to teach you in just a second. All right, but our main focus is we're going to read and discuss the story, the William Hoy story. Okay, so follow along with me as I teach these topics. So today you are going to need a piece of notebook paper because we will be writing, and I need you guys to write everything I write, okay? All right, before we do that, let's go ahead and go over some of our academic vocabulary words. So go ahead and take out your HMH vocabulary word notebook. Okay, your reading notebook where you write your vocabulary words in, and we're going to go over our new words. We have the word, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we have 6 words today, okay? The first word is scribbled. Let's look at this picture. What is the kid doing? The kid scribbled on the wall. Oh no. So if you scribbled something, you wrote it quickly and in a messy way. Look, did this kid draw a picture? No, this kid scribbled on the wall. So if you scribble something, you wrote it quickly and in a messy way. Scribbled. So I need you to go ahead and write that down. Scribbled. And if you scribbled something, you wrote it quickly and in a messy way. Okay. If you need more time, go ahead and pause the video now. All right. Scribbled. The next word on the list is tryouts. Tryouts. Over here, excuse me, in this picture, is a picture of a whole bunch of kids dribbling this ball, like basketball tryouts. So what are they trying to do? Are they playing? Does tryouts mean playing? No, tryouts are tests to see how well someone does something. So before you can make the basketball team, you have to try out, right? And then the coach determines if you're good enough to be on that team or if you probably need to, practice more. So tryouts are tests to see how well someone does something. So maybe you've seen that on TV or you read it in a book. Oh, I have to stay after school today for tryouts. Oh, okay. What are you trying out for? I'm trying out to be on the soccer team. Oh, okay. So that's what tryouts are. Okay. If you need to pause the video, you can pause it now. All right. The next word is wistfully. Wistfully. Look at this kid. He is looking out the window wistfully. He has a notebook in his hand. He looks like he's really thinking. Wistfully. If you watch something wistfully, you are watching it sadly and thoroughly and thoughtfully. So when you're watching something in a very sad manner, or like, you're serious mood and you're sad and you're really thinking about it, you're thinking about it wistfully. So go ahead and write down the word wistfully. The kid is looking out the window wistfully. It does look a little sad. Wistfully. Okay, so if you want to go ahead and pause the video now, you can pause it. All right, I'm moving on. The next word is smirked. Smirked. Ooh, look at this little girl as she smirked. Is that very nice? What is she about to do? She's about to pop the balloon that her brother is blowing. Is that nice? It's not very nice. She smirked. So if you smirk, you smiled in a mean or nasty way. It's like an evil way. So if you read in a book, oh, the evil villain smirked as they watched, whatever being trapped, whoever being trapped. So they smirked. They're laughing in an evil way. Ha 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 ha. They smirked, right? All right. So go ahead and write the word smirked and write the definition. If you smirked, you smiled in a mean or nasty way. If you need more time, you can pause the video now. All right. The next word is jammed. Oh no, she has her clothes jammed in the closet. I feel that way a lot sometimes. You just have to put it in there and close it real fast before it falls out. Jammed. All right, jammed. If you jammed something into something else, you put it there very hard or roughly. It doesn't easily fit. You have to jam it in there so it'll fit. So jammed. If you jammed something into something else, you put it there very hard or roughly. You could also say, I jammed my finger in the door. That means you close the door on your finger, right? Ouch, that's going to hurt. It was very hard and it was very rough. Okay, so if you need more time to pause the video, you can pause it now. All right, and our very last word is discuss. We discuss our vocabulary words before starting the lesson. Discuss. In this picture, the kids look like they're discussing something. What is discuss? Well, they're talking, so maybe it means talking, right? Very good. When you discuss something, you talk about it. So when you're talking about something with somebody else, oh yeah, let's discuss what happened yesterday during recess. Oh yeah, Johnny was so fast he beat Jacob, right? Okay, so discuss, to talk, something you talk about. Go ahead and write that down. If you need to pause the video, you can pause it now. Okay, so that's the last word for today. Tomorrow we will start the word proper. All right, until tomorrow comes, let's go ahead and start our lesson. So we are mostly going over central idea. So central idea means main idea, what the story is mostly about. So the person or thing that the story is about is the topic or the central idea. The most important idea or point about the topic is the central idea. Supporting evidence is evidence to help support the main idea. So there are details, facts, and or examples in the story that tell about the central idea. Okay? So today what we're going to do is we're going to read this story. It's called the William Hoy story. While we read the story, we are going to refer back to our graphic organizer, which looks like this. Oops, oops, oops. That's not good. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh no. All right. Let's see if it'll let me move up just a little bit without messing everything up. Okay, there we go. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to get a piece of notebook paper, and I want you to write the title of the story here at the top. So the title of the story we are going to read today. Miss Yusuf, do I have to draw all those boxes and everything? No, 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 you don't have to do all that. All I want you to do is get a notebook paper. At the top of the paper, you're going to write the title of the story. So the title is The William Hoy Story. The William Hoy Story. All right. You do have to write title though, right? So go ahead and write the word title and then write the title next to it. That only makes sense. All right. All right, the William Hoy story. So what is the topic? So again, we talked about topic a minute ago. Topic is the person or thing the text is about. So what is the story or about? Let's see, the William Hoy story. Let's look at the picture. On the cover, it looks like maybe that it's about, you know, a sport, right? Doesn't it look like they're playing a sport? Maybe kind of like baseball, just based on his uniform, maybe. It looks like baseball. This looks like the referee. Somebody's looking at something over there. And it looks like it's a game also because there's an audience behind them and they're watching. So the topic of the story could be a baseball game, right? So we're going to go ahead and write that in there. Again, you are copying this out on a piece of paper. So you are going to write the topic is, okay? So here, I'll highlight it. You're going to write the topic is, and then I want you to write this. The topic is about a, what did we just say? The topic is about a, The topic is about a story of a baseball game. All right, maybe a story of a baseball game. The topic is about a story about a baseball game. Oops. Period. I'll make that bigger because I know it's probably hard for you to see. All right, we may go back and change that later as we read, right? Because we're not sure what the topic is. We haven't read it yet. But based on what we looked at, the cover, that's what we think it's about so far. So let's go ahead and start reading the story. The William Hoy story. The William Hoy story. How a deaf baseball player changed the game. So the topic is about a deaf baseball player and how he changed the game. So we can add that on there. Let's go ahead and add that on there now. The topic is about a baseball game and how a deaf player changed the game. So a deaf person means a person that can't hear. Okay, so you've seen maybe a lot of them on campus. We have some people on campus that can't hear. They're deaf. So this is about a story about a baseball player, a deaf baseball player that changed the whole baseball game. So let's go ahead and read. It says, "For my parents, Flora and Douglas Sherman, with gratitude for bringing me up in a world of books and love. For Mama and Papa, thanks for believing in me." So this is a note from the Nancy Churin. She's the author, and the illustrated Jez Tuya. It's a little note that they wrote for their family. All right. William scooped dust to dry the sweat off his slick rubber ball. He stared at the small X he'd chalked on the barn wall. He closed his eyes, he opened them, and threw. Bam! He hit the mark. He stepped back so he could try again. His mother waved her arms. She was applauding him. What does it mean to applaud? To clap for them, right? Like, woo, cheer them on. You're applauding them. She touched her fingers to her mouth to signal eating. He read her lips as she said, "Dinner." William put out his pad and pencil. He scribbled, "Just a few more. I want to be perfect for tryouts." His mother nodded. So she says, "Eating." This is what sign language. Eating. It's time to eat. And he says, "No, I just want to practice a little more." So what does this tell us about this character? What does this tell us about William? It tells us that William is a hard worker, right? And he really likes baseball. So that's something we know. And we can write that in one of the detail boxes. So you are going to write, William is a hard worker and loves the game baseball. Oops, baseball, not baseball. There. All right, I'm going to make that bigger so you can see. Yes, you have to write the word detail, okay? Oops, I'm going to have to move my face for the middle of the screen. There we go. That's good. All right, so I'm going to highlight what you need to write the word detail, and then next to detail, go ahead and write what I wrote. And then same here, you're gonna, when we write this one, you're also gonna write detail. And this one as well, you're gonna write detail. Okay. So William's a hard worker. He loves the game baseball. Let's keep reading. What else do we know? His family was passing the mashed potatoes around the table when William pushed open the door. He read his father's lips telling him to wash up for dinner. He also read what his father's lips mouthed to his mother. "Baseball," his father said, shaking his head. "It will never last." So could William hear what they were saying? Oh, yeah. I mean, he couldn't hear it, but he knew what they were saying. He could read their lips. That's an awesome thing that deaf people have this skill. They have that skill where they can do that. So really cool. So they're discussing it over dinner. Still, William couldn't wait to try out at his school, the Ohio State School for the Deaf. At tryouts, he threw the ball. He caught it. He batted. He waited. Too small, the team captain said. William never got much taller than 5'5". He couldn't do anything about that. But maybe they'd give him another chance if he aimed better and ran faster. So every day after homework and chores, he practiced. So was William a hard worker? Yeah, he wasn't going to let, his size ruin this game for him. Yeah, he was short. You can't do anything about that. You can't make yourself taller. You were born that way. But you can practice at throwing the ball, right, and having really good aim. And by practicing, you do get better. And he can practice running every day. And with that, you get faster. One day, William was standing outside the cobbler's shop where he fixed shoes, wistfully watching men playing in a far-off field. A foul ball crashed by his feet. With his strong, sure arm, he threw the ball straight into an amazed player's waiting hand. So he was wistfully watching. He was sadly watching. Why do you guys think he was sadly watching? Because he couldn't be part of that baseball team, right? And he wanted to. Hey, kid, the player called. Want to join us? But William couldn't read the player's lips from where he was, so he turned back to work. He couldn't read what he was saying. He was too far away. The man ran to William and tapped his back to get his attention. William whirled around, and this time, when the man repeated the question, he understood. He scrambled happily to the outfield. He understood. He's like, oh, yeah, man, I'm coming. Hold on. So what's another detail? What's happening in the story now? William is playing with some friends now, right? So let's add that onto our detail. So a few friends ask William if he wants to play with them while he is at work. All right, we may add to that detail in a little bit, but if you need to pause the video now to write that down, you can pause it now. All right, we are going to keep going. William threw the ball smack into his teammate's hands. When he was up at bat, he sent it soaring where no one could catch it. Whoa, look at his friends' faces. They were amazed. Oh my goodness, this guy is a good player. What's your name? Asked one of the players. William Hoy, William wrote. So did William speak? Nope, he wrote it down so they can understand him. The man looked at the piece of paper a long time. He seemed to be thinking. Do you want to try out for our team? He asked. William at last. William grinned. He sure did. He's like, oh yeah. So what happened there? His friends knew that he was a good player and they asked him to be part of their team. So a few friends asked William if he wants to play with them while he is at work. He was so good, they asked him to be part of their team. I'm going to make that smaller so you can see everything I wrote. Maybe not that small. There we go. All right. That didn't sound too good. 12. Make it a little bigger. Oh, too big. There we go. Okay. If you need to pause the video, you can go ahead and pause it now. All right. William soon learned life in the hearing world wasn't easy. Unlike his parents, few people used sign language in the 1800s, and certainly not in baseball. He won a spot on the first team he tried out for, but the manager smirked when he offered William just money. Then he paid the others. I quit, William told him with his notebook. He quickly found another team. He was lying to him, right? He was paying everybody. He wasn't paying him. That's not nice. But even on his new team, some players talked behind his back so he wouldn't know what they were saying. Others hid their mouths so he couldn't read their lips. Was that nice? They made him feel bad. Maybe they were making fun of him. Maybe they weren't. But was it nice to talk behind his back and not let him in the conversation? No, because a person's automatically going to think that, hey, they're talking about me, right? Even though you may not be, that's what they're going to think. Why is it a secret then, right? So that made William Hoy feel really bad. One day, a pitcher played the meanest trick of all. William let 3 pitches go by because he thought they were balls. He was too far to read the umpire's lips and didn't know they were actually strikes. He stood gripping his bat, waiting for the next pitch, but the next pitch never came. William was confused. Suddenly, the pitcher bursted out laughing. He pointed to the fans in the stands, laughing too. Was that nice? They were all making fun of poor William because poor William couldn't hear. That's not very nice. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm sorry. Something went wrong while I was recording. Anyway, he jammed his hand in his pockets. Paper crunched against his feet. He pulled out a letter from his mother. He read it again. How much she missed him. William missed his family too. He remembered how his mom would raise her arms to applaud him. Aw. That's it. William pulled out his pad and drew pictures. He scribbled words next to the pictures. He wrote. He wrote. He wrote. He ran to find the umpire. The umpire read William's note. Yes, that could work, he said. I wonder what he wrote on there. The next time William was at bat, the umpire raised his right hand for a strike and his left for a ball. He used American Sign Language symbols for safe and out. This time, William got on base. He stole bases. He scored. In his first year in the majors, he led the National League in stolen bases. With his strong, sure arm, he became the first player to throw 3 base runners out at the plate in one game from the outfield. That's impressive. William taught his teammates signs so they could discuss plays without the other team hearing. They loved it. It's like a secret code trick they could do. The fans enjoyed learning signs too. In those days, before speakers and giant screens, hearing the umpire's calls from the back of the bleachers was hard to do. Now, even the farthest members of the crowd could see the signals. So then they kind of knew by seeing the signals. How smart. Teams begged for William. He played for several before signing with the Cincinnati Reds near his family's farm. When William stepped up to the plate, shaking his bat over his shoulder, fans knew he'd hit or walk his way to first, then swiftly steal his way around the bases. Oh, I was like, what? Something doesn't make sense. That's why I skipped a lot. Sorry, I'm going to reread that. Teams begged for William. He played for several before signing with the Cincinnati Reds near his family's farm. William was proud to show his parents that the boy who didn't make the school team was one of the most popular players in baseball. When William stepped up to the plate, shaking his bat over his shoulder, fans knew he'd hit or walk his way to first, then swiftly steal his way around the bases. Carefully watching the signals, he led the American League in walks in 1901. He was called the King of Center Field because for 10 years he was ranked among the top 5 outfielders to get hitters out by catching hard-to-reach flybys. After William became a star, he thought nothing could surprise him. Then one day, when he ran out onto the field, fans waved their arms from the stands just as his mother did when he was a boy. They waved hats, too. William said he'd never cry about baseball, but he did cry at the sight of deaf applause. All he'd wanted to do since he was a boy was to find a way to play his favorite game. He never dreamed he'd change how the game was played, but he did, and we still cheer him today. Aww. And then here's a little more about William Hoy. So this is a biography. So the reason I wrote biography is a story about a person. It's real. This is a nonfiction story. It's real. This is a real person that really existed, that really changed history of how baseball is played for the deaf. So here's a little bit about his life and his timeline. If you want to get on the HMH site, I have assigned you this book so you can reread it, and you can go ahead and read that if you'd like to. All right, so now let's go back to our graphic organizer. So William Hoy, the William Hoy story. The topic is about a baseball game. I guess I was wrong there. The topic is about a baseball player. It's not about the baseball game. It's about a deaf baseball player. I'm going to add that on there. A deaf baseball player and how a deaf player changed the game. How did he change the game? He changed the game by coming up with signs to help him understand what was happening. All right. Oops, I can't see the bottom now. There we go. All right, so here's a detail. William's a hard worker and loves the game baseball. A few friends asked William if he wanted to play with them while he was at work. He was so good they asked him to be part of their team. And then the last detail is at a game, people made fun of him because he missed the ball. William did not give up. Instead, what did William do? William did not give up. Instead, William came up with signs that the umpire could sign to him so he can better understand what was happening. Right? All right, so I'm going to make this bigger so you can see it. And I'm going to try to make it like this. There we go. Okay, so what is the central idea? What is the main idea of the story? So I'm going to write the main idea of this story is William Hoy and how he became a professional deaf baseball player. He changed how the game is played forever. All right, he's part of the baseball history now. So the main idea of this story is William Hoy and how he became a professional deaf baseball player. He changed how the game is played forever. How? By coming up with signals or signs that help everyone. It doesn't just help him, it helps everyone. Remember, it helps people in the stand understand what's happening too. That helps everyone understand the game better. Because the people in the stand, remember he said the people that are in the stand in the back, they can't hear the umpire talking. Back then they didn't have speakers and all that technology we have now. So it was a big benefit for everybody, not just the deaf. Alright, so go ahead and write that part down too. You're like, Miss Yusuf, that's a lot of writing. It's okay. It's okay. You're in 2nd grade. We are going to write more, so that's natural, okay? I am going to go ahead and keep that like that. If you want to pause the screen now, just to make sure you have everything written down, go ahead and pause the screen now. Alright. So everything highlighted, you write, and then you write whatever I wrote next to it, okay? Just to make sure you have all that written down. All right, now what you're going to do is you're going to take a picture of this graphic organizer, and you're going to upload it. You're going to upload it onto Google Classroom, where I posted the assignment. So here's the assignment. You're going to click Add or Attach Assignment. Yours looks a little different. Yours says Attach Assignment on this side. You're going to click Attach Assignment and then take a picture of it and attach it on there and send it to me. I am taking a participation grade on this, so please make sure you do it. Alright guys, have fun learning, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Alright, see if I can stop this. Oh, okay. Bye.